Yeah, it's red with the skirt and the legs.
See, this is how we roll. This is how we start.
This is just
a mother effing podcast.
I can't.
Okay.
It's a little bit big.
It's just a little bit now.
need
I
to
don't
fix
know
it
if my
up.
sisters are aware that we're already recording the podcast.
Yeah, you know what? This is how we start.
This
we
is
start
how
talking.
we roll. Design meets life because we are designing our life, and we're also designing our life to open another bottle of cava.
Wrapped so
Lovingly.
beautifully in
You see me?
tinfoil. There you go.
It's
Well, tinfoil and
let's
Republicans
do it.
seem to
Let's
go
do it.
together. No.
what do we call it? It's a boomerang.
I'm just kidding. We love everybody. Welcome to Design Meets Life, everyone. This is you're about to become your go-to podcast for the discerning international enthusiasts of design, art, entertainment, gossip, and the gift of gapping. But that's featuring who?
Me.
Hi.
Hi.
Who are you?
My name is Kelly Ellis. I'm a designer, artist. You know, I do lots of things, but what I like to do the most is talk.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm her stalwart companion. Hi, I'm Lucas, her BCN homie, radio host, educator, and pop culture nerd. And that's what we're here to do. We're bringing you clues, news, and interviews starting out every month.
Yeah.
With some of the fiercest creators around the world, designers, entertainers from around the world, and breaking down everything with a barrel of laughs and a lot of kava. In fact,
It helps.
It does help, and I think that's one of the beauties. Now, something that I wanted to get to before because we are not alone in our beautiful studio of Design Meets
we're
Live,
not.
because our another stalwart companion here who is also womaning the stage
Wow.
at
I like that term.
I do
Fashion
too.
Cares BCN 24, which is another thing that she's involved in. Lady PHliissa Williams of Thembe Designs and so much more. Thank you so much for joining us here on 2.0 of Design Meets Live. Kelly,
Yes.
tell us about what happened on the tarmac, because that was
Okay.
some good stuff, please.
So this is how we start with just the most random things. This is how we start every conversation,
Okay.
quite honestly.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. So I was sitting on the tarmac, stuck on my flight for 2 hours because the landing gear was broken.
I don't know. I don't have patience.
And it was either start taking off my clothes to get the doors open and get off the plane, right? Because it did occur to me. It did for a second. It did. But I was like, okay.
Extreme measures.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little antsy. It's a nice word. It's a nice word. Antsy. I was getting a little antsy. And yeah, I was like, how long are we? Every time he kept coming on
Right.
on the mic, he was like, well, it'll be another 40 minutes. Okay, no.
2 hours for real?
So I was 2.5 hours on the plane.
Two and a half. Oh, hell no.
2.5. This woman next to me, so cute, was on Duolingo and she was trying to learn English. So I just inserted myself
best
as
sound.
her. I know that was a really good noise. I inserted myself as her English teacher,
Oh.
and that was the best way to pass time ever.
You
It is.
became an
You-
English teacher?
Yeah, on the flight.
On the flight.
Yeah, she was like, she is an exciting, and she put she are. I was like, yeah, it's not because I can hear you. Know, I
You're
can
like,
hear the little. I said no, no, it's.
I'm going to
she
help you
is-
get to
yeah.
the next level.
Oh yeah, and then we started talking. She was absolutely adorable. Ended up being from the city that I was flying to, so it was a lovely,
Yes or no?
a lovely moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so since this is the name of our beautiful podcast, Design
Yes.
Meets Life, and thank you everybody, my two queens, for being here today. You designed your life in a shite moment
Yep.
because I don't have patience. You know, I spent most of my life in New York City, and I will cut a person. I will cut a person.
All right.
And so you designed your life to do
In that
something
moment.
for somebody else, though,
Yes.
is the main thing.
It is. It is. You know, I have learned to choose the moments, right? So then you go, okay.
Yeah.
Have you
how
learned to
is
choose
this
your
day gonna
battles,
go?
too?
Yeah. How's this day gonna go? This could go really bad. I'm gonna end up on the news.
Oh.
There'll be features about me. My friends will be calling me. Family will be calling me from the States, going, "What
TV
did
show
you do?"
personnel in design. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
was taken in a life straitjacket.
Right. I get fired from my program. I know.
Speaking
people
of
again.
which, can we make a
God.
quick shout out to the
Yes.
program? Because
Yes.
episode 4 just dropped. And Extravagant Spaces, which can be seen on the Design Network
Yes.
in North America and here in Europe on
Extravagant
Rakuten,
Spaces.
is all about this. Now, one of the beauties of Extravagant Spaces is that you're taking us to see some of them. It's insane.
I know. Well, tonight.
When you talk at the square
Meters here in Europe, square footage
Square meters,
in the
yeah.
States.
But
Right.
It's local. And somebody said to me the other day, I put something on my Instagram, and they're like, there are no ceilings that high. And I went, oh yeah?
Oh, yeah?
I challenge you. You tune in tonight.
In Barcelona.
Tonight. Yeah, well, Even in Barcelona.
Yeah.
I challenge you to tune in tonight. Extravagant Spaces on the Design Network to check out tonight's episode.
Or Rakuten.
Rakuten
And YouTube.
Pluto, and YouTube. You can go to my @designer Kelly Ellis and watch it live from your telephone. Shout! But
Exactly.
it
Let it
really
all
does
out.
exist. Yeah. Good
It's
times.
okay. How high were those ceilings?
Stupid.
Stupid high.
Stupid high. They're 30 feet high.
Oh my god.
Okay.
30 feet.
high
30
for my
feet.
Okay,
European
so what's that, like,
family.
10
that is
basketball
about
co-
that
30
is
feet.
nearly
Basketball,
10 meters high of a
right.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Techo in Spain.
Yeah.
For you.
30 foot high. Yeah.
Okay.
That's really high.
It's really high
Because
ceilings.
I was like, that's like because a basketball basket is 10 feet, right? So I'm like, that's 3.
3 of them.
I was thinking,
So
and
it's
for
like-
those here
it's like
in Europe,
Okay.
Europe.
3 on top of each other.
Cathedral-like.
Yeah, that's
you know, when you have
insane.
these incredible entryways.
What are the people like? Let me get a little personal. What are
They're
the
all
people
very
like?
different. They are not featured on the show, which is interesting. They're
Okay.
not featured on the show, but we do get that question quite a bit. Like the last week's program, if you watch it again on my Instagram, number 5, it is it's the CEO of American Airlines.
Okay.
So they're very private people, as you can imagine, right? But
He's
and
one
you're
of the
just
30-foot
going, you're going
ceilings.
to people's places and showing people
the
amazing
extra
spaces.
things about their homes.
I'll be on that show.
Yeah, you might.
That's the extravaganza. Exactly. So these modern adventures in filming. Okay, really quick. Was that CEO? Was that the gentleman with the 30-foot ceilings?
No, different house, different house.
I was gonna say maybe that would make sense because he's always
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
air.
that would
know?
make sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're doing these, and you've been doing this for a hot minute.
Yep.
You've been designing your life around this for a hot minute.
I
What is
have.
one of the craziest experiences? And then we're going to get into all about Thembe and
Yes.
some yummies. And I am going to eat a cinnamon roll on air, children.
Eat.
Just do it.
It's going to
Drink.
be an ASMR moment. But what is one of the craziest things that's ever happened? And it was maybe filmed and it could not be shown. Can you tell us?
Yeah.
I know this is out of left field. We were not prepared.
It is
She
out
was
of
not
left field, but
prepared
I
for this
absolutely
question.
can't. So there's one story in particular that happens, and I'll just share it. So it was my very first show, Clean Sweep on TLC. And great show, so much fun. You know,
Straight up.
2 rooms, 2 days, $2,000 myself, and a hunky carpenter and an organizer. And so we had about 10.
remember
It was a
this,
great show.
Community.
We would do 2 rooms that were absolute pig pens, right?
Okay.
Pull all the things out, and then our organizer would be working, and I would be in there with our staff, and we had a crew of about 50 that would come in with baskets and start removing things, right? And we remove everything out of the room and clear it out completely. So you can imagine when we go into people's bedrooms, what we find.
Okay,
Of course.
I'm afraid.
Of course.
What we find
Of
under
course.
the bed, in between the mattresses. They forget that you've got a film crew coming in. So many blooper reels. That's all I'm going to say.
Was there a dead animal?
No.
Okay.
Dead
No, because of-
people?
I just listened to
Yes, yes.
no,
Well,
because of
I
this
don't know.
hoarder when
You know what?
hoarders
Yeah, the
started.
hoarders.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not that bad. They're not
Okay.
hoarders. They're not hoarders.
Oh,
But
you
we
mean
do
like special
paraphernalia.
magazines?
Yeah, paraphernalia and
Toys?
aids. Yes. Adult life. things.
Adult
Adult life.
life.
Just they designed they designed their life in an adult way.
Right.
Is what they did. So yes.
In a moment like this, okay, going back to something PG.
Yeah.
In a moment like when you were having to deal with the woman there and the 2.5
yeah.
hours and that, do you have any de-stressing factors that you do to calm blue ocean moment yourself?
Okay, this is going to be
Are you tapping?
no. This is what I do. Okay, it's gonna sound really egocentric, and I'm gonna just throw it out there. But this is what I do. When I was joking, I said before, you're gonna see me on the news, and then you started going, designer Kelly Ellis, you know, and then I pretend that when I'm at like super close to losing my mind, that if I do something crazy, it will be public. And so I just tone it right down. And the reason being is when I was on
That makes sense.
I was on HGTV
Yeah.
for many, many years. And they used to run HGTV on the airplane. So you can watch HGT on the screen.
So you're like,
And I have been on
That's
there.
that
I've
crazy
seen,
girl that was-
yeah.
There I
I
am.
just saw that
There I
girl.
am.
She's
There I
bouncing off the walls in row 10 right now. And so I would just pretend content.
You keep your composure.
Yes, keep my composure because they could be running
paparazzi could
HGTV
be
on this.
anywhere.
They could be running HGTV on this thing.
And they would be
that's
running
it.
Pluto.
They could be running.
Voiling, they
100%.
would be running Pluto. And
Oh, we're on
Rakuten.
DirecTV now.
That makes me remind. It reminds me of a song by David Bowie, or Bowie, however you want to say it.
What song is that?
When he says fame makes a man think things over,
Yeah.
or a woman.
Right, that's
exactly
true.
because
It's that. It's that. Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
I just go, I don't want to embarrass everyone. There's people out there that don't need to see me lose my mind.
And, I don't feel like seeing myself in
No.
like 5 years. Oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to get rid of that
Right.
stuff. Anyway.
When it's on the internet, it's there forever.
It's there. Okay, let's talk about you.
Yes,
I want to talk
let's.
about you.
hell yeah.
She's here. Okay, so when I first met you,
we were drinking.
Wasn't
What
gonna
are you
say that.
Speaking
I wasn't
of,
gonna say that.
It
We
was,
were there to see your beautiful,
That's right.
beautiful dresses and gowns, in particular on Tori.
That's right.
Sparks for an event. It was an
Right.
Elvis tribute.
Hells to the
I left the Gus.
Yes, at the Gas, which is a
Yes.
really cool place.
It is a really nice venue.
Really cool venue, and I got to meet you and your guy.
We're still together.
Okay. I didn't want. I'm like,
Yeah,
you're.
no. We're still going.
Okay, great.
Shout out to all
They
of
are
them.
also
Yes.
an incredibly beautiful couple. I'm
This
just
is
going to say.
true. This is true. This is true. We did
Throw that out
notice.
there.
I noticed that before I even knew who you were. I'm like, they're cute.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
I'd
yes,
like
yes,
to hear
yes.
that. Are you listening, babe?
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to him. Yeah. Text him really quick.
Yeah.
We're cute.
Yeah.
And so I got to meet you there, but this was you style many people, but you create these beautiful, beautiful gowns and creations. Tell me how did that
Right.
start?
Well, for Tori in particular, she's the one that I have been styling for now probably 7 years or
Oh,
something,
wow.
like
Really?
7 or 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So for her big concerts, for her tours, or any little shows, she'll come over. Like she just came over last week, and she'll take like 5 or 6 dresses. She'll try on a bunch and be like, "I'm taking these." I say, "Okay,"
Oh, that's so
and I'll
good.
see them on you.
Right. Right. So I'll see them
Exactly.
whenever.
And she, always gives me a little bit of cred here, but it's
Yes.
nice. It's nice because I also had to learn to adapt my style of sewing and making dresses because of Tori.
Oh,
Because
why?
I was making so many dresses for her, and I realized because she's very animated. When you see her on the stage, she's like on the ground, moving around, on the stage, with the shoes, off the shoes, with the, just like all over. And I was like, I
It's
need
a
to make-
performance.
Exactly. I
She's
need
gonna
to
be
make
naked in a
dress.
minute, right?
Exactly.
Straight
I'm
up.
like, I need to make a dress that's not going to fall apart. Where if she decides to do a kick that we're not looking at her goodies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not too short.
Because those photographers are all up in there.
Exactly. Like it
Oh
has
my
to be,
They
it has to be moved with her. And so many times she's like, I love your clothes because they always kind of feel like pajamas.
There you go.
You know? She's like, I feel like I'm wearing pajamas, but it's a dress. And it's like, and I feel good. And it's like moving around and like, you know how to cover the areas.
that you want hidden.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I get it. I know what you're looking for.
What brought you to that? To these designs?
Yeah.
To those designs. That's difficult to say
Like
too.
a eureka moment as a child? I don't know.
To making clothes or to making specifically?
Yes. First start out making clothes.
Where do I begin?
Making clothes.
Making clothes. Okay. The truth,
Yes. No. Lie
Always.
to us.
I had in DC. Okay, I was going to the Corcoran School of Art. All right, this art school, and I would ride my bike there, all happy because I loved art school. On my way there, I had a small bike accident where I hit a man. I was going around a curve, and he was so strong, he was like a wall. He didn't even move. He was like,
Wow.
but I was on the ground, like
Wow.
and I ended up like having a little chip in my shoulder, and I was like this for like 2 months.
Great for art school.
Right. So I could use this hand,
Yeah.
but I couldn't ride my bike anymore, and I was a little bit bored, and I wanted to do something. And I decided I'd start to remake clothes with my free hand. I don't know. It was really crazy. I was watching, remember, the Ananda Lewis show.
Wow.
She had this shirt on, and I was like, I can make that, I think, with my one hand.
With my one
And I was like, let me
hand.
take my T-shirt and cut it and the thing. And then all of a sudden, I was like, that wasn't so hard. Let me try that again. I started ripping up my clothes, making a bunch of stuff, and then people were like, oh, that's cool. I was like,
Did you sew already? Or you taught yourself how to sew?
I taught myself how to sew.
Did your mom flip out too?
She
You're
was
ripping
like,
the
well, the
clothes
thing
out?
is, no, the
I
thing is
mean-
that I was sewing by hand because
Okay.
I didn't have a machine.
Literally by hand, one.
Literally by hand. I'd be
Just
like,
one. Just one. Yeah, just one. Yeah.
I'm just gonna make this. And then one day she's like, "Phlissa, I think you need to get a machine." I was like, "No." She's like, "It's taking you 2 weeks to make a dress."
Okay, yeah.
I was like, "I know, but I mean, I like this manual thing."
process, you like the
So,
process.
but she later on did buy me my first machine.
Oh,
That's great.
mama.
Because then I was like, "Oh my god, that was so
Mama.
fast!" I was like, "Wow, okay, I get it. I get
Was
it."
it a singer with the whole?
Definitely was a singer. It definitely was a singer.
I love it.
And
I
so
love
then
it.
I had a machine. Next thing I knew, I was just making and ripping up things all the time. And then I had like my first show a couple of months later. I just wanted to.
How did you do that?
in DC.
In DC.
I am
It was
loving
at it was at this restaurant called Morales, which is not there anymore.
Okay.
And
just said
my
hi?
friend knew the owner, so
Okay.
I had the space for free.
There you go.
The models were my friends.
There you go.
The DJ was my friend.
This right
the
here
friend
is
who made
designing it.
Exactly.
You were making
my
it
friend
happen.
In whichever
made
city.
the she worked at a graphic design like printing place. She
Mm-hmm.
made the invitation. So
Love
everybody
it.
did something.
Love it.
Friends did the hair. This did it. So everybody did something, and I just made 70 looks
Wow.
in my first show.
Wow.
It was ridiculous.
That's a hell of a job.
Just past childhood.
I was
Damn it, girl. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
That's a lot.
and it was a lot. I was like, was that for real? No
Wow.
way.
Did this just happen?
Did I just do that? And everyone was like clapping when I was like, what the?
Oh,
Who are these people?
This is
No,
it.
it was fun. And I was like, okay. And then I had like a trunk show. And then I started making clothes for a singer, Deborah Bond, who's still doing singing in DC. I made her a dress. And then she was the first singer. And then I just kind of,
Piggyback
going.
off of that.
and then that was it. I was like, oh, that's it. I'm going to make clothes. That's it. That's what I do. I make clothes.
Wow. And so when you were in school, did you shift your focus? I mean, you were in art school, so you just continued and finished.
Yeah. So no, for art school, I was studying graphic design and photography.
Okay.
But I was really just there for art.
Yeah, just to
Period.
be in the creative world.
I
Yeah.
love one of my favorite classes was like art history
Yeah,
because
same.
because
Me too.
at the
Me
Core
too.
Grim, what was so great is that each class was in a different museum because in DC
Oh.
all the museums are free.
Of course.
So the art history class would be okay. We're gonna meet at the Native American Museum
Oh, I
at
love
8:00. Everyone be there. So we get there.
Love it.
We're gonna go through this exhibit. We go through the exhibit. She points out some certain things. She's like, "Here is your sheet. Go do the work.
Wow.
See you at the end of the class." I was like,
You're like, I could teach this
What?
class.
it was amazing.
It was great.
It's like sit in front of the picture, draw this, talk about the color
Yes.
theories. Da, 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 da. I was like, this is amazing.
That is
I
amazing.
love
is.
school.
Yeah, it's amazing.
No, thinking about because
Yeah.
I teach university students and
Immersion.
they
No,
don't
but-
get that.
Immersion.
I have a business client who told me that he needed to do a project, business student, and he didn't know that he needed a specific number in order to get this from the ayuntamiento. And no one in his school has taught him. And they're paying $10,000 a year for this, which is nothing from where we come from.
$10,000 for
Nothing.
school?
Okay,
That's for your
no. And if
books.
it's public school, this is your
It is.
non-Europeans.
For your books.
People pay between 900 euros and 3,000 on average for a university education every year in a public school. Now you have to, which is nothing to what we're used to. But these are private students paying for private education, and they don't give them those tools. But they give them these projects, but they don't give them the tools to do this.
Right.
And when you're telling me, so hearing this. At this moment, was there more of a hands-on approach in life in general for you? And I wonder also, as a young woman who's a non-white young woman
Right.
in
I am
DC
non-white.
creating
I'm a what? POC? Person of color.
some of our POCs are getting upset with that conference. That's why I say
As a non-white
Yeah.
woman,
in DC at that time,
Yeah.
was it also there were not many of our sisters doing that. I
No.
would say.
I mean, let's see. I'm trying to think of what year was that even. I don't even remember. For
was
sure,
just
I
last
was
year.
like
Last
probably
year.
yeah, just
What are you
last
talking
year. I was one of few black people who went to the Corcoran because it was a private art school.
Right.
So I was there, financial aid. It's the only way that can happen. So it was like a privilege to go there. Like I felt very, like a special person to be able to go to that school because our classes were small. But I mean, I love that school so much.
It sounds like it was a very
re-
tailored education.
It was.
to
It was
the-
really, really great. I think it's still operating.
That's great.
because I think I saw.
Let's
something,
hope.
but
Shout
yeah.
out to them.
I know that
Okay,
school, and
please,
actually
Lord.
the gallery was beautiful because it has the Corcoran School, but also has the Corcoran Gallery,
Which makes
and it's
sense.
behind the White House.
Of course.
So the
Of course
students
it is.
Yeah,
Behind the White House.
So the
That-
students, you'd have your school projects in the gallery of the Corcoran
Wow,
School.
what a nice
So it
way
was
to
like
start
it
out.
is. It's like everything was like
Honestly.
there. You go to school, you get your piece in the gallery.
Yeah.
It was like doing it's as good.
Nice
It's
way
good.
to start.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
and speaking of, because also I'm not presuming at any times, but that was also a wonderful time in style and fashion.
Wow.
If we're talking specifically anything to do with the late 90s to the 2010.
Okay.
Was such a
Yeah.
wonderful time. And then things have changed. Obviously, I wonder if social media
I'm
has
sorry,
anything
but
to
I'm
do.
wearing my mother's 80s clip-on earrings
they're
right
amazing.
now. So
And they've
I
blend
know,
perfectly
it's like,
well
I
It's
with
know.
fun.
this.
And
They're
yeah,
fun, right?
everything is-
Clip-ons. My
Yeah.
mom could only
I-
wear clip-ons.
Mine
'cause
too.
Her first
I
husband
mean, I
had
have
ripped her.
I have clip-ons as well. I mean, every now and then, a clip-on is lovely,
I know, right?
and they're so.
They're just so
I can wear
iconic.
clip-ons,
These are
Of course you
clip-ons.
can.
Wow. So tell me, I'm just so curious. So now
Yeah.
you're there. You finished school. You're loving fashion. This is what you're doing. You're moving
Yeah.
through. Did you
So
stay
what
in that?
more did I do?
Did you stay in fashion?
No. So after that art school, what did I do? I was a little bit of a. I was a child, or let's say early 20 person who didn't really know what she was going to be doing. So I
Right.
was bouncing around a bit in schools, universities, life, jobs, boyfriends, living, whatever.
Sounds like
you know what I'm saying?
everyone I
don't
know.
what you're
Exactly.
talking about. That's crazy talk.
I was like, I don't know. I mean, but one thing I was always doing, even though I was doing all that, was working in the food industry.
Okay.
So I was always either like a server or a bartender. I was always working in some sort of restaurant,
Which is also
which
creative.
is how I began to get into food.
Tell
Okay.
us, pray
'Cause
tell.
many people don't know that Thembe Designs has a catering sector.
Yes, I do
Oh my
catering or
God.
private food and like
love it,
private events, and I go to your house, and if you want like a big barbecue, I do that. I bring my people my food, whatever.
Okay.
So the
I
first
have been privy to this
Yes.
on several occasions.
I do.
Oh
There's
my
one
God.
friend, my friend Margaret. She has an amazing flat, wonderful parties, and I always cater her parties.
How fun
And
is
everyone is
that?
always now used to me being there making that food.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I started. Actually, there was one restaurant in DC. Everything was in DC because I lived there for like 19 years.
Yeah.
Johnny's Half Shell was the name of this place, and the chef there, Sam Atkins, he was the one who first served me my first medium rare steak.
Okay.
Believe it or not, because a little known fact that there are African Americans who think that medium rare or medium or rare is not edible. They think something's going to go wrong. They're like, if it's not medium, if it's not burnt, I'm not eating that steak. And my family was like that.
Yeah.
So if you saw blood, they'd be like, take it back.
Take it back.
So I was like, he made a steak, he put it in front of me, and I was like, in my family,
Latinos as well.
in my
Well
family,
done.
that is like a no-no. He's like, no, trust me, Phyllissa, just try it. Just try it. I was like, okay. So I ate it, and I was like, boom! What is this flavor? I taste this meat. It's so good. And then after that, he started making me these like things, and then I started getting more into food. Then he left there. I pretty much followed him at whatever restaurant he went to.
Okay.
Then after a while, I was like,
And they're
"Can I-"
still open, by the way.
Yeah.
They're called
Yes.
carry out now.
Exactly. And then one day I was like, listen, I want to learn about kitchen skills. Will you let me come into the kitchen and learn? He's like, and of course for free and on my free time.
How great is that?
I'd
But
come
did
in
you-
the morning
did you
and he
watch
would
your-
show me how to like use a knife, how to cut like this, like what to do, what not to do, just like the basics.
The basics.
But would you watch your mom or grandma or
Yeah,
papa
my mom,
when you
of
were
course.
younger?
She was the one
I was
who
obsessed with
made
that.
me. Not because I wanted to, made me start cooking. She's like, I have a job now.
But I
you
think
have
it
a
was
new job.
important.
You have a new duty in the house that is making dinner. I was like, what?
We all design our,
you know?
we all design our life around food. Let's be damn. I mean, I just
Everything-
noshed on this delicious cinnamon roll made with butter, not pig lard in this country.
But everything we do is though, anything social, any event, anything, right?
And also, like within families, all families have like for the holidays, we'll say you have some sort of traditional dish
Oh yeah, we do.
that your
we do.
mother will make
Yeah.
at every Thanksgiving, at every
Yes.
Christmas, whatever. And I mean, I've been here now almost 10 years, and there's a dish called pepper pot, a Guyanese dish because I'm Guyanese. I'm from Guyana, born there, raised in the States, that I haven't had since I moved here. And every Christmas, I'm like, oh man. man, we have for
Pepper
breakfast.
pot.
It's called pepper
What is
pot.
it? What is it?
Oh my god.
Pepper
I'm
pot is a
looking it
dish
up.
that you have to do like in a crock pot because it takes a couple of days.
Okay.
And it's made with like cow's heel, and you need this special thing called casrip syrup, which comes from Guyana, or you can get it at a Caribbean shop possibly. And you have the meat, and it's like with cloves, and it's super super dark. And my mom would make fresh bread, and you like after it's done, you have to put it in a bowl. You have this like
The
saucy
sauce.
stuff. You have the meat, the bone, which you like suck always.
What is
Right.
the
Dip the
meat? Is
bread.
it goat?
No, it's beef.
It's
Yeah,
beef,
but it's
okay.
like been sitting and simmering in there for a lot for days.
Mm,
And every time you like each day when you go to like stir it or
There's
add
that
or whatever,
cooked meat she
you
was
have to
talking
have
about.
like
Yeah.
a clean, you have to have like the clean spoon.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have the spoon, the only spoon for this. Then you have to wash it and put it back. No other spoon can go in. It was a
Okay.
process.
It's a process.
And then my mother told me like a couple of Christmases ago, your brother made pepper pot. I was like, what? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, how do I get casrip in Spain? Where do I
have
get
you
that?
made
But
it
stuff?
what
here?
is casserib?
It's a syrup.
Is it
it's like
sweet
a really,
or a-
it is a little bit sweet, but
Sipping
as
on
it gets
some syrup.
cooking, like less and like more and more and more, it gets a little
Less
bit
sweet.
less. Yeah, but it's still like, because pepperot is a little bit sweet, but it is like
Okay,
molasses
I
dark.
want it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I'm
but
wondering
if you
can
find
do it-
these
can you do it with
ingredients-
lamb instead of beef?
Probably. You can maybe do it with
He
goat
wants
as
it.
well.
He
You can
wants
probably
it.
do it with goat as well.
This is
Because
the
I
one
love
I'm
curry
thinking.
goat.
I love
And
curry
another
goat.
dish is like cook up rice, which is another thing my mother would make. I mean, there's so many dishes that
Okay, so now that
I
we're
miss.
talking about this, I think we need to have
getting
another
hungry.
podcast. Where
my mother will
we
make.
have the food here.
Yeah.
Now, one of the reasons why Lady PHliissa actually couldn't bring some dishes is because you have been making Fashion Cares BCN 24 2024 happen.
Which we're all going to be at.
Amen.
Right. I can't
Tomorrow.
wait.
Now, folks,
Manyanza.
there are a lot of there are not enough events that actually take care of a lot of women who are
Right.
fighting and vulnerable women who are fighting and getting back into the game of life
Exactly.
and designing their life that way. And one of the
Yes.
foundations here in Barcelona where we're recording our podcast is Fundación Arred, which is actually presided over by actress and beautiful model Judith Mascot. And all of the funds from this big fashion charity event tomorrow is going in. Now, you have been designing and styling everything in their mother this week, which is why you could
the
not
last
come
2
up.
weeks actually.
And I'm
It's
so
a
sorry
fashion
that
show, right?
Yeah.
There's 3 fashion shows actually.
Okay.
Wow.
Three
okay.
set fashion shows with 36 models, and each model with 3 outfits.
Fun.
Yeah. So, well, 2 of the models, only 2. I mean, now
I think everyone needs to
I know.
drink a little
I
bit
need a
more.
little
I
bit
think
more.
that I need.
So the idea was this. So all of the clothes was going to one particular place that people were. So all the clothes are donated. Everything is donated. So this fashion show is from the donated pieces.
Oh, I love it.
So what I did is-
I donated. I wonder if I'll see any of my pieces
Darn
on
tootin',
there.
darn
Oh, that's
tootin'.
fun.
Maybe. So what I would do is every time something was donated, I would go through. I went through all of the clothes. Literally, I could tell you every single piece of clothing that is in that place.
Wow. Okay.
And I would take out what I believe to be the best pieces, and I put them in the show.
okay.
Now, this year also, there were a lot of people who donated furs and stoles and scarves, so I tried to put all of those in the show.
Wow.
And I took those pieces and I'd make outfits for the models who were volunteering, and I got them send your photo with your sizes, and I picked their outfits so that when they came, they'd already be ready, you know, so we would have a little bit more organization.
Yes.
They were all very surprised. They were like, "Oh wow, you're so organized. Everything is already here."
Did you
I'm
put
like, "Yeah."
people in things? Okay, so I've had a stylist once, and
Yeah.
it was so much fun. And the reason it was so incredible is because I have a rut, right?
Yes.
And so I do. I mean, my closet is very, you know
I
whose
love
closet
it.
it is, right?
Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cheers. Cheers. I am definitely, I have my specific clothing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Of course.
You know.
Yes.
Like when you walk in and you're like, oh, this must be Kelly's closet because it's 95% black.
Right.
With a touch of red here and there, like you and I today, right?
Right.
So were the models really excited to be put in something different that they would not normally wear?
Yes, because also what was a few things that were kept reoccurring. A few of the models, when they took the outfit out, I said, these are the 3 sets, try this. They're like, I donated that top.
Ah!
I was like, would you look at that?
Now put it back on.
I was
bitch.
like, so
That's
we
what
know
I'm
it's gonna
asking you.
fit, don't we?
Wait a
It
minute.
came right back to you.
That's
That
how the
is
Lord works.
I know.
Hilarious.
Other things were,
That would happen to me totally.
you know, like the outfits, a lot of them like actually fit fit in the first try.
Okay.
They were like,
Hell
"That's
yeah.
amazing. How did you do that?" I was
Yeah.
like, that's
what
my
I
job.
do.
That's what you
That's
do.
what I'm
That's what I
supposed to do.
do.
Other one would be like, I don't like that color. I don't know about that style. I don't know about that dress. I don't know about that look. I was like, listen, this is a fitting.
Put it on.
And what we're going to do is we're going to understand what your body is,
Right,
okay? So you're
right.
going to try it on because I put these things together, and let's just see. They put it on. Oh, wow.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
I didn't really think
See?
that I could. I was like, yeah, I know. That's what I do.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm like, you just have
Yeah.
to trust the person.
But where does this
Yeah.
come
Person.
from? Where did that inertia come from?
Of just knowing.
Exactly.
Well, okay. I have some sort of crazy thing where I'm able to put a woman in, or a man now, obviously, because I work with
You're
both.
doing me tomorrow, girl.
Yeah, I can put a woman or a man in something that just works for them, and it fits their body really, really well. And a lot of the women, and the guys, they put the outfit on, they look in the mirror, and they're like, "Whoa." They're like, I would have never
Yep.
thought that I could wear that, or this is something I would never wear.
never pick.
I would never pick. And I'm
No.
like, that's the idea of doing a fashion show, because now you have an idea of other things that you could put on,
Exactly.
other looks, other ways. Because also for some of the ladies, some of them really like to wear close-fitting clothes.
Right.
And so I was putting them in like boho looks. We'll
Okay.
say. Okay. There's a couple of ladies where I have them in these like bohemian looks.
Yes.
In the second show.
Flowy.
Exactly. And they put them on and they were like, woof. And I was like,
Where's the energy?
exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, sexy doesn't mean tight.
Exactly.
That's what I said. I was like, sexy doesn't mean tight. Sexy means comfortable and how you wear it and how you look. And everybody around them was like, that looks amazing. They're like, really?
Yeah.
And they were going like this with the material. And I'm like, really?
Oh,
It
they're
looks
learning so
great
much.
on you.
That's so fun. They're learning.
But it
something
also
know.
brings
different.
security to the person. don't you
Yeah,
think?
it's like-
They-
I'm like-
they feel that power.
Yeah, and also because like Toei was in there. She's always in there with the fittings, and she's like, after she's like, I am impressed. She's like, I don't know if I would have been able to handle those women. I did. She's like, because I think I would have lost friends.
And by the way, Toei is a dear friend of ours who just did another podcast with me, and
Yes.
she
Yeah.
was one of the original designers with
Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger back in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day. So another New York fashion.
Yes, exactly.
Who was
so
also taking
fun.
part in
And
fashion
so
fairs.
it was. I was like, yeah, I mean, I've been doing fashion shows and styling for I don't know, 20 years or something.
It's
now.
personalities. It's people.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's like it's like now I know how to deal with people who are a little bit like,
Right.
like you
Right.
just like seriously, they look at the clothes and they're like,
Yeah. But they probably wear the same thing over and over and over
exactly.
again.
And I'm like, I get it. You have a new look, a new feel in your body. But I'm like, what I'm giving you, I was given information about you, your attitude, how you are, and I picked those outfits to go with your personality.
right.
But you need
Show
to
it.
trust me.
Show it.
Exactly. And then she put on these shoes and she was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to wear these
I'm
shoes for
in.
every single one.
See?
I was like, that's what I do.
Oh, I love this so much. You know what? I'll never forget something that a stylist told me once. The same woman. So I only did it one time. I don't know why, but every time I get dressed, I think of her. So she obviously made an impact, and
Yeah.
I truly mean this. So she said to me as I was putting on things that I'd never put on
Right.
before ever
Right.
on the planet, and I just tried to trust the process, and we were also being filmed, so that I
You have
couldn't-
to be like,
I had to be a little. It was for a show.
Yeah.
Exactly. So she said to me, "It's just as easy to put on something stylish as it is to throw on those sweatpants. It's the same action.
Right.
So make a choice that's going to make you feel better."
right.
And I think of that when I get lazy.
Right,
You know, I'm
right,
gonna
right.
go. I'm going for the. You know.
I mean, clothing really can change a person's attitude.
Yes.
I mean,
Brings you
whenever I would,
power.
yeah.
You feel power.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know. I mean, I just remember specifically when I was in college. Whew, I might have gone to a fraternity party.
Couple-
Feeling a
Never
little
been to
bit
one, never been to
hungover
one.
the next day, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my god, I have to go to an 8 a.m. class. I feel like crap. I'm gonna throw on a cute dress
Right.
and some shoes,
Change
and
it.
I would just be like, all of a sudden, be like, oh,
That's
okay.
right. I
I'm
feel better.
hungover, but I look good.
Exactly.
It don't matter.
It doesn't.
I'm cute.
It is.
I'm curious if there's any favorite designers or muses that you had
Yeah.
growing
Favorite
up.
designers or muses? Well, let's see. I really like Vivienne Westwood because she's wild and crazy, and
Rest
I
in
appreciate
peace,
that she
Queen.
just did whatever. you know, and would wear and do and just
She
sort
was
of,
also interior design. She did
Yes,
beautiful,
yes, yes.
beautiful
Yes.
pieces of furniture. She had, and all of her furniture, by the way,
Yeah.
this is where you and I come together in our disciplines.
yes.
Her furniture also it was draped.
Okay.
Everything was drapey
Yeah.
and drippy. It looked like fabric. So it was
Yes.
an interesting connection.
A semblance
Yeah.
of steampunk to
Exactly.
it
Really
sometimes. Yeah.
Right, and I really love like Yoji Yamamoto.
Okay.
Okay, I love like his athletic-y things that he did with Adidas, like the
Y3.
big things, the Y3, you know, stuff like that. Who else do I like? I like oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of some names and I'm blanking.
That's all right.
no.
Jean-Paul Gaultier.
There you
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Talk
the
about
people
boundaries.
who were just doing crazy things or different, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but right now I can't even think of any current
This is
designers
what I-
whatsoever.
Laquan
Right.
Smith always does something a little kooky.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun. It's fashion
Just
is
like
art.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
It's
People
just
who are
like
taking their art into their clothes but making
Which is the
it
point.
wearable.
it's the point.
I would
You
think.
know,
It's the point.
wearable art.
And the
you
people
know?
Okay.
that are dare
Yeah.
to wear it are the
Wearable
fun too.
art, yes.
So can I ask you, my queens, about a fashion question right
Yes.
now? What is your thought on the wearable art of socks and flip-flops?
Okay.
That is
What?
everywhere.
Socks and flip-flops.
Everywhere.
Unless
If
you,
are,
unless you were wearing the toe socks,
Right, from
like
Japan.
the Japan, you know what I'm
Japan.
saying? For a person,
see, and I
that's
don't
for
like
real.
those.
Are
I
we
don't
talking
like
flip flops or sliders?
white socks?
Oh, maybe you mean
sliders,
sliders.
Adidas shoes,
That's
and they're
sliders.
just walking around.
I mean,
That's very.
if
that's
you're
an
leaving the
athlete.
house to go buy something around the corner, fine.
I don't even
But
think
if
that's
you're literally
acceptable.
going out to meet your friends and hang
Yeah,
out, I have a problem.
Or
Me
go to a
too.
private university session dressed like this.
No.
Like yeah.
It's you
Oh,
know
that's a
because it's
university
called
thing.
it's don't be
I
lazy
can't.
Right.
because if you're lazy in what you're putting on, you're lazy in your life.
I've
Maybe
only
it's the
seen
age.
that in at universities
age.
where
Yeah.
people live on campus. Then they look like that.
And they go in their pajamas.
that. They
My
look like
brother
that.
used to go in his
Yeah.
boxers.
Okay, no.
Matthew,
No.
you know you went in your boxers.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
Absolutely
I will
not.
never forget that. Like,
Not
what are you-
acceptable.
I don't have time. I don't have time.
Okay.
I don't agree. This is where I'm like going to attribute the whole like yoga pant era.
Well, it's so funny. Okay, let's talk about that here. So
hate it.
coming here,
Uh-huh.
Uggs.
people do not
drink.
walk around in their athletic wear.
Now, like they do in the States.
They, in the States,
Yeah.
everyone's walking around, jumping in and out of their cars, right? Go in their
They're
yoga pants.
Lululemoned up.
Yep. Well, they have a Lululemon here, but people are still
Do
not
they
walking.
really?
Yeah, they do on Gracia. But they're not walking around.
I think only
Folks,
the
in
foreigners
Barcelona.
are probably the only ones going there.
They are, or they're going there. They're wearing them to the gym, and then they
Yeah.
actually put on clothes here.
Yeah.
They wear clothes here.
Yes.
Well,
It's
you
different.
know, back in in New York, where women would go in a certain outfit, but that could go off, and the shoes would go off when they got to the building, and the pumps
yeah,
would
yeah,
go
yeah.
on. And, okay, so there was that, but
But they're still wearing clothing. They're not walking around.
well,
in
I
stretch
will tell
pants
you
like
this:
California.
the college and uni kids are wearing.
Nothing.
Well, it's like 2003 with the Juicy Couture and the whole, it's all come back.
Right.
It's
Okay.
hardcore, especially with the men.
Athletic wear.
Younger or youngish,
Well, the
straight gay.
Lululemon
they
male
just-
pants are the biggest thing, right?
Have
What?
blue male pants?
Oh yeah, they look like zip up pants, regular pants, but they're stretchy and comfortable, and that's every guy pant now.
Did Lululemon design her life to meet their lives to meet this?
Oh,
yes,
my
they
goodness.
did.
But can
It
you
was
see
smart.
the junk?
I don't know.
No.
Well, in those
Probably not. They're
Lululemon
like- no, they're
pants for a
dressy.
man?
No, they're not stretchy. They're not. They're
They're
not.
pants.
Oh,
They're
oh,
pants.
skull.
They're
Okay,
pants.
all
They're
right,
pants.
all right.
You're like, oh, wow.
My son-in-law swears by them. He looks like he's wearing really nice pants. Like they've got. You can tell me
They
Seams
have
and
a
everything?
crease and seam.
the sewn-in seam. They look really smart, but he said they're so comfortable. They're like pajamas.
Okay, well, I mean,
Stretchy.
if they look like pants and they feel
look like pants.
then this could be okay. But the
Yes.
women who are wearing the Lulu pants that we see your butt when you
We see
bend over,
everything.
FYI, everything. Just letting you
Everything.
know.
You're
Maybe you want
terrible.
us to know that, but
Right.
you are not
Terrible.
fooling anybody.
No, terrible.
For some of us guys who don't know, we've been hearing Lululemon for the last 10, 15 years, but
Yeah.
what the hell is it?
It's
And
a
I didn't know there was
it's
one.
a
I'm going to go check it out
trend.
now.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a trend that became insane.
Yeah.
It's expensive yoga
Expensive.
gear for
It's yoga
the
gear?
lifestyle.
Yes.
Yes.
Now it's athletic wear, athleisure
Exactly.
wear.
Yes.
It's everything wear. They
Well,
blew
people
up.
design their lives for that.
Well, they do.
Athleisure wear can
Mm-hmm.
be nice to wear out. I've seen some nice like sweat
Yeah,
things
I
that you
have
could
too.
wear out that
I
I,
have
do
too.
as well. If
Yep.
you do it correctly.
Don't you want to look like a New York ballerina? I always do. You know, with all the
You're gonna like
layers
roll
and the-
down your
Yes,
waist thing
yes.
and wear like a
I
what is it,
love
the
it.
wrap sweater and
You got it on sideways, and it's like
Yeah.
it looks really good.
Yeah,
And that thing, you
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
that's a
like
look.
like you're
That's a look.
French. I mean, you know, how do you do
It
that?
is a look.
It is a look.
It is.
I don't know
It's a
if
look.
it's the look.
It's
like
not- it
I don't know.
doesn't look good
Prince
on
would
me.
have sung about that. Oh,
Nope.
I
Careful.
look sloppy is what happens if I
Yeah,
do that. I look
but I don't
really
know.
bad, like really bad. It doesn't work on me. Like my legs are not 10 feet long. That's why.
I don't
look
even
a
like to go to
dancer.
the groceries, the supermarket,
Yeah.
without looking a little
Pulled together.
handsome-ish.
Well, you never know who you're gonna meet. You and I are
True.
single.
Yeah, I hear
We're
you.
designing
it
our
dep-
lives
yeah,
every
it
minute.
depends. I mean, Oliver and I, we just came from like, a walk. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When Oliver and I go to walk the dog, he likes for us to walk the dog together.
That's
Oh,
what
of
it is.
course,
You have
but
to
they're
do
little.
it
We're both
together.
wearing Crocs. Mine are red.
Okay.
Okay,
you
his
have
are
some.
black, but I do put on like I try to look a little,
Pulled together.
I'm still a little bit pulled together, but we are the couple that's going to wear a pair of Crocs to the supermarket to go
I don't know if
buy-
we can air this concept.
chicken.
now.
Yeah,
You said Crocs. No.
I know they're not great, but I
right,
do
this is
own
over.
them.
I don't own them.
sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Well, you
I
know,
can't.
didn't
I can't-
Balenciaga
I got
do a
them
pair
for a
with them?
special for a reason though, not because they were cool, because I had foot surgery,
Okay.
and they were one of the things that I could only put my foot in because of my.
Well, also a lot of
Okay.
chefs,
So it was
chefs
for
and cooks use them a
orthopedic
lot
reasons.
Yeah, they do.
in the kitchen.
The what?
Chefs and
and
cooks use them a
Yeah.
lot in the kitchen because it's
Sure.
flat.
Easy and flat.
I mean,
and-
they
And
were
they
like
cover
boat
the
shoes to
toes.
chef shoes, and now they're just like there. And then people putting jewelry on them. And
I
they're
But
like,
like I
Yeah.
said, Balenciaga.
This
was
is
it
the
Balenciaga
ridiculous
who did a
thing.
line with them?
I have no.
I
idea.
think so. And they started
Yes.
putting the, and they had like
With
the
heels,
heeled
they
ones.
had heels.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Boo.
You've got stilettos.
Boo.
And then
Although my
Crocs.
best friend has a pair in pink, but
Really?
it's Samantha. She can do whatever she wants. Samantha.
Well, there are
Yeah,
people
it
that
is
can do
Samantha
that.
Jones. Yes, code.
Samantha
Samantha
Jones.
Jones. Well, but as we start
God.
winding down,
Yeah.
I have a question. What advice you're looking at your inner child,
Oh, yeah.
inner teenager, 15
Oh,
years
okay. I
old.
remember seeing this.
Yeah.
You have some advice for their creative ambitions. What do you tell her?
I tell her to stick with your instincts.
Okay.
Because when I remember in middle school, but this was in Long Island.
Oh,
Okay.
where in Long Island?
Nassau County, Glen Cove is where I went to high school. No, Glen Cove is where I lived. I went to school in Locust Valley, in Portland.
I can't-
And they would always
I
have
can't.
these little like art events, and I'd do like something for it. And I would just say, I'm going to be an artist. I don't know what it's going to be,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm going to be, is an artist. And I would tell to my friends, my family, my parents. I was like, that is what it is.
It felt that you felt.
And
it.
then I'm now years old. And that's, I mean, I guess I can't help myself. I'm still there. So it's interesting because my mother actually told me, I want to say a few years ago, she's like, I wish I sent you to fashion school. I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I went to some kind of art school.
Yes.
Because, you know, when you're younger, maybe back when I was growing up, and your father had a lot of influence in the things that you were doing.
yeah.
You know, and like you would say one thing, and they'd be like, but that's not going to give you money. You need a real
Oh,
job.
girl, you were preaching to.
You know
the
what I'm saying? And I'm
choir
like,
there. No,
but I
yeah.
want to,
See,
but
my
I'm
parents
gonna.
were not like
Yeah.
that.
You know,
Thank
yeah,
Oh,
you're
no.
lucky.
They raised
And I
me
was
like that,
like,
and then really they changed.
you see now, I told you so. you know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it was
Me
like
too.
that. I was always like fighting, but I want to keep the art, and
Me
always
too.
trying to.
Mm-hmm.
And so
too.
I'm still right back here.
I think that we just can't stay away from it. I grew up with a judge father, went to law school. You can be an artist when you can be an artist when you retire. You know, I did the same thing.
Right, yeah.
I heard it,
Yeah.
and then they finally gave in because they didn't have a choice.
Right, exactly.
They
so
also-
they're
you-
like that
you
now
tire
as
them
well.
down with the fighting. Like, okay, just fine.
It's the same. My mom's like, Felissa's gonna do what Felissa's gonna do. She's
Yeah.
gonna live where she wants to live, and she's
Yeah.
gonna go and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I'm
We
gonna
have to
take this
accept it.
snippet and show all my college and uni kids. Just do it,
Right.
And my advice would be get that out of your parents' house as soon as possible.
Right.
Yeah, they probably want you out anyway. Just saying.
Child, it is 32 in Spain to leave your home is the average age.
It's crazy.
And we're going to
It is
leave Design Meets
crazy.
Life with that.
But I just want to leave. I want to say
before
one more
that.
thing before you kick me off the air.
No.
I'm kidding.
Lord.
Just want to say for those of you who are interested to know a little bit more about me,
Yes.
you can find me my website, right?
Yes,
thembefashions.com.
Spell it.
Thembe, like them be hanging out, them be
Nice.
chilling, and then fashions with an S.com. Or on Instagram, you have them be with like a little underscore is my, for my clothing, or them be
Yes.
for you for my personal, but it's private. I have to accept you. But other than that, I'm here and around.
Yeah.
And
here
the
in
beauty of
Barcelona.
Thembe Designs it is bespoke to what you need.
Yes.
Because it is really your designs can be fashioned this way, as we do with some of the rockers here in the city. They can be styled, there can be catering for an event plan.
Food, that's right.
We're
Don't-
doing that.
Okay.
By the way.
You want
I'm
food.
sorry.
Well, we already know what we're doing for the Club with Lucas music festival that I'm planning.
I love this idea.
Well, I'm
Whatever
thinking
it
of
is.
having just an excuse to have you come and not only like pre-make things so you can join us and play. I don't want you to
This
be,
is the
be
play
cooking.
part.
Yeah,
Lord
yeah.
knows. Because we also have a lot of work. You have a lot of work designed for you for tomorrow.
I do.
Yes.
and in the
I gotta head
continuum.
up. I gotta talk with some people who are still missing some shoes in their outfits. Models, if you're listening,
And
I'm
I will
gonna
be there
getting
to get styled as well. Remember, folks, this is Design Meets Life. Wherever you go, you are designing your life. Often too much, too many for others. Remember to include you in your designing of your life.
Absolutely. You're
Because that is the
number one.
point. And remember, you can also catch anything from Lady PHliissa Williams at Thembe Designs. That's like them, Aos B.
Fashions,
said.
Thembe Fashions.
Thembe Designs and Fashions. And I'm not going to forget the catering
that?
because I can't. I
The
can't.
food. I make some
Okay.
good food. Not gonna lie. I can barbecue. I come to your house.
Honestly, if you're in
done that a lot.
Barcelona and you're in
I've done that a lot.
Catalunya, hearing
It's
this
happening.
internationally,
Done a lot of
get a
barbecue parties.
hold. Okay.
We're doing this. We're barbecuing because I'm hungry now, girl. So I am hungry now.
And we haven't been drinking anything on this podcast.
No.
All right, folks. Well,
Apple juice.
design your life to include you in it.
Cheers,
And remember, you are loved. Keep it real.
you.
And Kelly and I will see you on the flip side.
See you later.
And of course, shout out to Giovanni Gizzani, who supplies
Yes.
our music. We love you, man.
gonna
Here's
hear ya.
Flo's Point 2. Bye.
Wind on a face, she's living like this. Into the crowd on Friday morning with a half full and a full of wonder. Everything seems so different. She's awake, watching you, brown eyes. Don't belong to her. With the sound out through the air, cheek side shape on her. Find herself in lightness. All she wants is the inside of Leo, 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 ba-ba-da-da, Leo, 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 le, 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 le. Sabadule, bo-ba.